Let's review some shit. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Guys Night Gaming. We are your local gaming table. Wargaming, tabletop RPGs, mini painting, terrain building. Grab an empty chair, sit down, and subscribe. Recently, Loot Studios, you may know them, known for their 3D sculpts and printable 3D models, made the move to publish their own game. You may have heard about it. It's called Malediction, the world's first 3D printable miniature game, card game. My Kickstarter for it arrived recently, so let's go ahead and see what's inside. When you break it down, Malediction is a mix of a miniature skirmish game and the beloved Magic the Gathering. Each player is meant to pick a faction, then a leader, build a deck around that faction. The game features miniature combat that synergizes with the card play. The goal for each player is to score the most points, essentially. My initial thoughts on the game focused on the integration of card play. If you follow my channel, you know that I'm making my own skirmish game that also features card play and deck building. I knew I had to back the game because I wanted to see how they implemented the cards. I backed the 2-faction pledge to play with someone because that's what I do. And I attended Adepticon this year, so I was able to test the game out. It was one of the better games that I actually played during Adepticon 2025. I think they made a good choice in making the miniatures and terrain printable because it leans into their business model that they already have built. And I want to stress this part. It allows them to give more to the backers. The cost for Malediction, the 2-player set that I paid, around $99. It's a ready-to-go set. It's got full rules, miniatures, terrain that you can print. It was about the same price as Games Workshop's Kill Team 2-player starter set. I believe that is the Death Guard starter set that has recently come out. And that's not even the complete game. You still got to buy the rules, stuff for that. You don't get cool terrain. You get the little paper terrain things. So in my eyes, it's definitely worth every penny. So I got 2 boxes here. One is the Primal Blood. The other is the Order of the Shattered Throne. Let's go ahead and dig into those boxes. All right, I've been holding off on opening these for a few weeks, so I'm pretty excited to get into these. This is the Order of the Shattered Throne. So when I saw these guys in the Kickstarter, they were the Golden Boys, heavy armor. Just really reminded me of like a paladin or something. So I wanted them because the other faction I really wanted was the Primal Blood. Those guys just look badass, so I definitely had to have them, and I wanted a good faction to go against them. And I went with the Golden Boys. So, box is nice. There's a little wrinkly here, but whatevs. It looks nice. Feels nice. See if I can get this open. Okay, so if I were to ever make a game with a box, I am going to put little holes, rivets in the side, so the suction action doesn't happen anymore. It's so annoying. I'm just gonna move the lid to the side. QR code to know more. They give me a nice little ruler. That's sweet. This is another thing I thought was really clever, punch outs. So those, what I mentioned, I had mentioned this to some friends about not being able to print your own minis. Well, they have standees, which I think is an awesome idea. You can still play the game. Lots of games use standees. So, and it's very cost effective for them to be able to do this. And it's not just the minis, it comes with standee terrain as well, because terrain does play a factor into the battles. Very nice, got counters. So when I played at Adepticon, the counter was a little cumbersome. It kind of, the numbers would move around and stuff like that. So I might fiddle with that on my own and try to either make a new one out of 3D printing or figure out how to make it more stable. Got a nice little die in here. That's a cool one. I like the color. Comes with starter deck. So I wonder if you'll be able to purchase decks or booster packs outside of the game to enhance your deck. That'll be interesting to see. The basic rules. And the game is pretty easy to pick up at Adepticon, so I don't imagine the rulebook would be super large. And then lots of bases for the standee models, and some of those little plastic rivets you use for the spinning cardboard pieces. Oh, that's what comes in the box. Let's look at some cards. All right, so this is labeled a starter deck. This is for the Order of the Shattered Throne. There we are. I don't know about you guys, but is it not satisfying to pull this tab? I love it. Open this first. Now, these are so similar to Magic the Gathering, it's ridiculous. The font looks similar. The art is very close. I do like the fact that they don't have a border. There's just one big piece of art on here. And the cards, I think they're made up of equipment, your actual people. This one looks like terrain. Lots of different units. And I actually have some of the, I have this whole order printed out already. Like some of these miniatures. This one's just like a suit of armor. And I will say the miniatures that were provided, the STLs were provided almost right away after the Kickstarter ended. And you were able to print those right away. So you could really use them for anything. That's the miniatures and the terrain. But pre-supported, these things printed like a champ. I didn't have one messed up miniature. Some of the miniatures that had the bigger bases, I love this guy, his helmet. They had trouble fitting on the bases, but just a little pressure, and I was able to get them locked in. But yeah, these guys are pretty sweet. The prints came out really great. They feel good in the hand too. We got spells for cards also. I played the blue faction at Adepticon, so they were very ranged heavy, spell casting, and some damage soakers on that team. So I'll be interested to see how this team plays out. And some item attachments. The art on here is awesome. I love the art. It goes with Magic the Gathering very well. As that sort of helps bring that feel into the game, Magic the Gathering. Similarities. Okay. So these guys, this deck, has a mixture of red with the yellow. So I am curious to see how they move forward with the kinds of cards they have and the colors they combine. That seems like a big task ahead. Lots of spells in this one. That guy don't look right. He can't see. All right. This is the faction that originally drew me in. The Primal Blood. And just a badass name. I wish I had some pictures of them on here, but since they don't, let's break into this. So I think the poster boy of this game is really what looks like the big man from this faction. It's like that giant Cyclops guy. He's got a couple horns on his head, like tusks that come down. He looks super badass. His mini's pretty big. That's who my brother played when we were at Adepticon and we tested out the game. He played the Primal Blood and that guy was on the field. And my brother won, if anybody's curious. He came at me quick and pretty much curb stomped me. All right. Look at that. Look at that mini. That's not a mini, sorry. That piece of terrain. But they have that for terrain printability. It's pretty sweet. Super gnarly. It's got people stapled to him or nailed to him. Yikes. Yeah, these guys have some sweet miniatures too. Some more nailed dead guys, lots of blood. These things I think are called relics, and you basically want to pick these up during the game, and they'll be placed around the map. This is the guy I was talking about. He's like got mammoth tusks and a big red eye. He's like the poster boy of this game. Very cool. Art goes a long way. It'll draw people in, for sure. That guy totally drew me in when I saw him. Nice job, art team. Another set of basic rules, so you're not just going through one book and sharing it. You both got your own basic rule book. I can't tell if that's see-through or not. Up to the light. It is. Oh, and there's blood in it. That's gross. Our standee bases and our 2 decks of cards. Well, let's go through some cards. All right, let's do this again. There he is, Thunder Steps. He's a seeker. So this is one of the, when I said you pick a leader, this is what I'm talking about. Seeker is the leader of your team. Oh, that's his face close up. He's an ugly son of a... So this is what the terrain for these guys do. Hazardous 3. Once each activation, non-flying units entering or starting their activation on this terrain suffer 3 damage. Yikes. Noxious Flesh Gardens. Yeah, even the name sounds like Magic the Gathering. Tarok Beast. Primal Totem. Oh yeah, this, I just printed this one. It's just basically a totem that sits there, but it's got half a dude stapled to it. I wonder if this one's got mixed colors, because it looks like it's just, it reminds me of the red decks that I would see, speed decks that just do a lot of damage with, or quick small damage with like goblins and instances and stuff like that from MTG. So some of these I noticed don't have, there's nothing faction specific about the ones that aren't. Yeah, these were in the other decks. Okay, so these decks are not mutually exclusive to those miniatures that it came with, so you could essentially mix these decks, it looks like. Oh, yep, there's a mix. Spirit Bound. Oh, that's like the Nurgle-y faction in this game. Alright, yeah, there's some of the universal cards. What else do we got here? Don't think this one was in the last deck. Oh, this is another Seeker. Okay. So there's 2 Seekers on this team. All right. Well, that's the cards that come with it. Look at that. 2 whole starter decks. Literally everything in this box. You're ready to go. I know a lot of people have reservations about backing crowd-funded projects these days. Not looking at you, Simon.
This is the worst!
But there are good companies out there that have great crowdfunding campaigns. Loot Studios, I think, lands in this category because they totally pulled it off. The campaign was smooth. They communicated pretty good. Throughout the entirety of the campaign period, they still are communicating good. And I believe they made changes that people wanted to see during the campaign for the campaign. Overall, A+ for them. Overall, this game is really fun, and I'm all about the 3D printing. Loot Studios is dumping lore, all kinds of extra stuff online for the community, and I think it's a good idea to get into the game. Some issues I see are that their miniatures are, of course, 3D printed only, as far as I know anyway. Meaning, if you don't have a 3D printer, you're out of luck, pretty much, on the official miniatures, unless if you pay someone to print them out, whether that be a service or maybe your buddy's got a printer. But take some advice from Uncle Adam.
Any miniature war game can be miniatures agnostic if you believe in yourself.
All right. Thank you for kicking it with me. If you are into everything tabletop, kind of across the board, and you want it all in one place, you're in the right spot. Subscribe so you don't miss the next session at the table. And hey, I hope you learned something, and I hope you play something soon.